Hello folks, very warm welcome to another video, another Freeware Friday episode featuring the aircraft on your screen. This is a Freeware bizjet. I love me some bizjets and I love me some Freeware. This is the Bombardier Global 6000 that has been ported across from an old FSX Freeware aircraft, and it's now available on the .to as of earlier this week, late last week perhaps, something like that. Picked it up the other day, haven't had the opportunity to fly it yet, but today's the day. This is the VC. Now, a disclaimer, or two disclaimers actually. One, this is not an aircraft review, and I'm not going to go into any sort of depth about what this aeroplane can actually do, or what the developer has done. And the second disclaimer is that the developer has provided some comments, a disclaimer of his own, if you like, around the fact that this aircraft does not fly and does not function like the real thing. Okay, so you've got to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but that's kind of the heart of simulation, really. Suspending disbelief. None of this is real, folks, despite what we may want to tell ourselves about study level and all that sort of stuff. It is a simulation. So, this is the Bombardier Global 6000 bizjet. We're going to take it on a shortish flight in Japan. So let me show you where we are and where we're going. Alright, little nav map will help us to do that. The country of Japan with its many islands. We begin towards the north of the country. The south of the northernmost big island. Is that accurate? Hokkaido? And we're down at a place called Hakodate. Okay, so that's where we begin our journey. And we're going to fly in a generally southerly direction. And end up in a place called Fukushima. Now, you've probably heard of Fukushima, probably for the wrong reasons. Unfortunately, the scene of the nuclear power plant meltdown-y thing that happened as a result of the big earthquake that happened over here, the tsunami that followed the earthquake that happened over here in, I want to say, 2011, something like that. So Fukushima. So a flight of 281 nautical miles, according to this route that's been calculated by Little Nav Map. That's the plan. We're going to get up to probably 28,000, something like that, or flight level 260 for the purists. That'll be long enough. It won't take us too long. It'll be long enough to explore the aeroplane. As I said at the start, not meant to be a detailed aircraft review. It's just my way. These Freeware Friday episodes are my way of paying homage, of giving appreciation to our Freeware development community. So I'm going to get us started. Got to work out how to do that. And then we're going to go flying. Alright, engine start has been achieved. As you can see, this aircraft is fitted with the G3000s on the front dash, and then this is the G3X thing down here. And compatible with the working title, I think we're seeing, yeah, this is the working title, G3000. And then the sort of the controllers down here. I did notice something a little bit weird. Trying to click this one also toggles the yoke, the co-pilot yoke. See, you can't actually click those buttons. It just toggles the yoke on and off. But this one seems to work okay down here. See the flight plan in there. Flight plan represented on this display and on the main MFD. In terms of starting the aeroplane, highly unrealistic, I would imagine. You can give yourself some GPU up here. Some really simple switches, the main battery, the alternators, and the fuel pumps. And then you've got some external lighting as well as some internal lighting. So cabin, that seems to work. Yeah, provides some light to the panel. There you go, something like that. There's a dome switch up here which provides some overhead lighting. On the looks of it, yeah, it does. We might nah, I was going to leave that on, but might be a bit much. Yeah, so a whole lot of switches and stuff up here. You can see a lot of stuff is missing. There's some shapes, there's some knobs. none of this stuff works. Obviously, engine start switches are down here. Flaps are over there. Speedy brakes are here. Yeah. But look, it's a great addition if you love bizjets and you love freeware like I do. This is at least worth a look. It's early in the video. I haven't flown it, but I think it was worth a download, and it's worth making a video of. As I sit here on the ramp at Hakodate, anyway. Anyway, we'll taxi out. Runway 12 is our departure runway. 28,000, flight level 280 is plugged in. This is the TBM panel, I think. I think this is the TBM controls. Certainly looks familiar, the TBM. Then the G3000s, and yeah, G3X, as I said. So, I'll get us out onto the runway, folks, and we'll get moving. Alright, so just approaching the hold, runway 12 Hakodate. What I will say is that it taxis, it feels like it taxis a little bit too well. In terms of it really gets moving with very, very low power application. So if you like a fast taxi, you'll like this aeroplane. Very, very manoeuvrable, controllable in terms of that sort of lateral movement and stuff. Yeah, runway 12 down there. You've got some windshield reflections happening. Very green terrain in front of us. Nice stiff headwind to take off into. Look at that. Look at the colour of that terrain. Great visibility through the windshield. Nice seating position here. So, heading bug, synced. Looks like we've got a right-hand turn after departure. We might just zoom that out if it will let us do that. Yep, it will. It's a bit weird having it down here. Okay. Yeah, so right-hand turn after departure. No V-speeds. He may have mentioned it in the post on the .to. If he did, I can't remember them. I'm going to take off at around about 120 knots, give or take. Eh? We're about half fueled. We've got one stage of flaps. We'll bring some power in. Some more power in. A little bit more power. There we go. Full power now. Oh, good acceleration. Lightly loaded. Up through 100 without any problems at all. There's 120. Let's see how we go at rotating about there. Yeah, it's about right. Nice and gentle rotation. Away we go. Look at that acceleration. Positive rate gear up. Yeah, she climbs alright. Sounds, it's freeware. That's the best way I can describe the sounds. Come back on that power. Probably need to get those flaps moving as well. We probably need to pitch a little bit higher. We're going to bust through 250. Come way back on that power now. That's 12.5 degrees and we're at 250. She wants to go. Right hand turn. There we go. 6,000 feet a minute. Realistic? I don't know. I don't know the real thing. I have no reference here whatsoever. Speed's coming back. We're still climbing at 5,000 feet a minute here in the rocket ship. And we've powered back a fair bit too. Alright, we'll just sort of get leveled out here, heading in a southerly direction, then we'll engage the autopilot. Pretty stable to hand fly. So we'll head at about 200, hey? What do you reckon? About 220 knots. So there's 200. About 220 knots. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll go Flight director, yaw damper, autopilot. There we go. We'll hold that. And then we'll go flight level change mode. Yeah, 230 knots is fine. See how well he holds that. 4,000 feet a minute. That's that's unreal. That's very good. We'll go heading. In fact, we'll come downstairs, which is here, and we'll go direct that one. Come back up, not that one, here, and go nav mode, which will take us straight to the waypoint. 230 knots, 3,000 feet a minute. Go outside for you. There she is. It's a beautiful looking aeroplane. These Bombardier bizjets are beautiful. Most Bombardier aircraft are pretty bloody nice. They've got a distinct sort of shape about them. Something about this, the nose and the nose cone and stuff. You can kind of tell that it's a Bombardier aeroplane. There we go. Safely away. Folks, I'll rejoin you in the cruise en route Fukushima. Alright, so establishing the cruise, flight level 280. I probably could have gone a bit higher. I definitely could have gone higher. This thing likes to cruise high, like high 40s and early 50s, 51,000 or something like that. And it goes forever as well. It's got fantastic range, that's what I mean. It's fast and it's got great range and you can carry quite a few packs. What I'm finding a little challenging is that it doesn't have auto throttle, at least it's not modelled, and it's a little difficult to keep the speed sort of where you want it, which is kind of close to the barber pole but not too close sort of thing. So I'm having to do a little bit of work to manually adjust the throttle. That's not a problem, it's not a criticism, it's just an observation. So it doesn't, if the real thing has auto throttle, it hasn't been modelled here, so you've got a little bit of work to do. Down here at 280, we've sort of got the barber pole kicks in about 265 indicated, so we're under Mach 7. Cruise up higher, and I'm guessing that limit moves up. I don't know how accurate the numbers are here with the EPR, the N1, and the ITT. That looks decidedly incorrect. Fuel flow, don't know how accurate that is. No point of reference here. Have absolutely no knowledge of the real thing whatsoever. What I will say also is that this kind of reminds me a little bit of the longitude that's part of the stock sim. The is it the premium or the deluxe version? I don't have it, but I've watched a few videos. It's kind of that style for me, because I think the longitude has the G3000 as well. So if you don't have the longitude, or you want an alternative to it, and a freeware alternative at that, well, this model is available. There will be a link to it in the description. The version that you're seeing in this video is version 1.2. I don't know what the developer has in terms of a roadmap for future developments and all that sort of stuff. It is a port from a long time ago, an FSX port, I think Iris Simulations, and you see we've busted through the barber pole there. I think it was an Iris Simulations freeware FSX version that old mate has done some work to, some texturing, some coding and animations and stuff, brought it here into the Microsoft Sim, and we appreciate him doing so. Anyway folks, I'll join you for the approach into Fukushima. Alright, we've just commenced our descent down into Fukushima, folks. Just thought I'd point this out. We've got some flickering. It's like some light leaking or something. I haven't experienced that in any other aircraft. And something a little weird in terms of initiating the descent. I may have clicked the wrong spot inadvertently or something, but yeah, not quite the... Like, I'm used to flying the TBM and stuff, and this is the TBM control panel, but yeah, things got a little bit weird. We lost our, I don't know, I'm just going to put it down to I clicked the wrong the wrong part of the panel. I hit the wrong click spot. That's what I'm going to go with, rather than pick fault with how it actually works. I'll take the blame. So having to manage speed control quite carefully here. It is fitted with a spoiler activated like so. We get that enunciate on the PFD. Speed comes back, as you would expect. Actually, I might have a look outside. What does that look like outside? Spoilers deployed. Yep, they animate. Cool. I'll continue the descent and join you for the final stages of the approach into Fukushima. Alright, the concluding stages of the flight, folks. Just about to give Georgie a rest. Take that out. Thanks, Georgie. Just down through 3,000 now, slow to under 200 knots so we can get gear out and another stage of flap. We're about 9 miles away from touchdown. At the moment, probably should land 01 in Fukushima, but I'm gonna be a little bit bold and land 19 instead, just because it'll get me down quicker. I may land with a tailwind. When I was doing the flight plan over there in the little nav map, it was suggesting that 01 would be the correct runway based on the prevailing breeze. So I've ignored that, of course, and we're gonna land on 19. What can I say about the descent? I can say that speed control is a challenge. Judicious use of speed brake to get us sort of slowed down to where we are now. Runway in sight, out there at about 11 o'clock position. We're all good. I think that's a runway in sight. Yeah. We can actually take, I think we can take second stage of flap, can we? Where's the flap extension? Yeah, 210 is our placard. There we go. It looks like a runway there at 11 o'clock. Down to 180 knots. No idea about approach speed, so I'm going to guess at about 120. Same as what we took off from. That's normally a pretty good rule of thumb. It works in the simulator. I'm not sure that you'd want to rely on that in real life, but this ain't real life. We have suspended disbelief. As my dog is encouraging me to get this thing on the ground and get her fed, which we will do very soon, little one. Down through 160 knots, we will take gear. Look, it's been a really enjoyable flight. I've really enjoyed this aeroplane. It is freeware and it's missing a whole lot of stuff, and the developer's own admission is that it doesn't fly or function like the real thing, and that's okay. If you can suspend your disbelief, you want to pretend that you're a bizjet captain flying some rich bastard long distances in the sim, you can do it. That's what this allows you to do. Alright, so there's 130 knots approach. That's okay. So 120 over the threshold. What do you reckon? Feels pretty good. It really does feel nice to hand fly. I'm surprised, actually. Oh, there's 130. We'll be back to about 125 over the numbers. What do you reckon? Pretty close to it. Oh, there we go. Wasn't the best of touchdowns. Now, does this thing have reverse? I have no idea. Sounds like it has reverse. What's that at the end of the runway? Is that a tree or a truck? Kind of hope it's a tree. We didn't take full flap there for landing, did we? We had another stage to come out. Alright, off at this taxiway. Flaps up as we do so. Folks, that has been the Freeware Bombardier Global 6000 for the Microsoft Sim. There'll be a link to it in the description. Check it out if you're so inclined. Thank you to the developer for porting it across and making it available to the community. And thank you everyone for your company on another flight. I hope you're well, hope you're enjoying your simming, and we'll see you next time.